All right, welcome to 20-minute Lean Legs inside the Somerset program. We got 20 minutes of legs. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to walk you through what the workout looks like. So if this is the first time doing it, you know what to expect. If you've done this workout before and you want to just bypass all of this and jump to the warm-up and the workout, feel free. But first time, let's walk through this so you know what to expect. There are two 10-minute AMRAPs in this workout. AMRAP is as many rounds as possible. So 10 minutes, as many rounds as possible. And the second one, 10 minutes, as many rounds as possible. So the first 10-minute AMRAP, you are going to alternate between a dumbbell 1.5 sumo squat for 10 reps and alternating jump lunges, or your sub on that is going to be a reverse lunge. So on your sumo squat, you have a couple options. You can use one dumbbell. If it's easier to hold on to one dumbbell, you can hold it like this. You can hold two dumbbells if you need a little bit more weight. But a sumo squat just means that my feet are wider. Let me get these down for a second. My feet are wider. My heels should line up with my shoulders or slightly wider. You'll know as soon as you start to go down. Your toes should be at an angle. So instead of having them straight or slightly out, they're going to be at an angle. When you go to squat, make sure that your knees track out as well. So a sumo squat, think sumo wrestler, we're opening those knees, we're coming down. A 1.5 sumo squat means I'm going to come all the way down, I'm going to come up halfway, back down, all the way up. That's one. All the way down, up halfway, down, all the way up. So we're going to do 10 of those. Then you're going to get rid of your dumbbells. And we're going to go alternating jump lunges. I'll show you that one first. You get into a lunge position. I got to look down or I'll fall. I'm going to jump with the feet, and I'm going to jump back and forth. Now, if we're not ready to do that, all you have to do is switch it to an alternating reverse lunge. Okay? So those are the two exercises that we're going to go back and forth. When we're doing AMRAPs, push when you can push, rest when you need it. That's how this works. So there's no prescribed rest period. Your heart rate is going to be a little bit elevated because we're working legs and we're jumping when you can. So like you can tell my heart rate's already starting to go up. So you'll see that I'm going to have to stop. The goal is to push hard enough that you actually have to stop. And it's okay if you stop in the middle of a set. It doesn't have to just be at the end of a set or the end of supersets, okay? So those are the first two, back and forth, 10 minutes. We get through whatever we get through. The second 10-minute AMRAP is going to be a single leg squat up chain. We're going to start with 6 of these on each leg, and every round we're adding another one. Hopefully I can remember the reps on this. So single leg, you're either going to do it off a bench, and when I do it off a bench, just for stability's sake, I like to tippy toe just for balance. You're going to put one foot down, make one foot do all the work. You can lift it up once you get used to it, but you're doing one leg, and that other leg is just tippy toeing it. That's option one. I will probably do most of mine. I've got a hook here that I can hold on to. So if you have something really stable that you can hold on to, I like to put mine behind. I don't like to put my foot in front because then this leg has to work too hard. So I put mine, wrap it around that ankle. I'm holding on with both hands, and then I'm squatting as low as I can. Okay. So again, we'll start with 6 reps of each. And then every round, we'll add one for 10 minutes. Pretty basic. So again, the goal is volume as we go through this. So I'm going to walk you through a warm-up first, and then we will go ahead and get started. So let's start with your feet nice and wide. You're going to fold yourself in half. And then I just want you to go back and forth, bending one leg. So you can see this. Let me turn this over. Okay, so I'm bending one leg, getting a stretch in this inner thigh, and then I'm going to switch sides. Now I'm getting a stretch in this leg. And we're just going to go back and forth a couple times. Make sure you're stretching that inner thigh. Feet are flat. Okay. And then back up to the top. We're going to walk out where you're down on the floor. If you need to put something underneath your knees, go ahead and do this. All right. So from here, you're going to lean all the way back. You can keep your hands here if you need to, but if you can, I want you to sit all the way up. This is going to create pressure in your ankles. So my feet are tucked underneath, right? Going to create a little bit of pressure in the knees. I'm going to come up, go into a lunge. And as I do, I'm going to push this knee over that toe while I drop my hips down. Then I'm going to push off, come back, sit back down, come up, step, push over that knee, step back. Again, you can do it with your hands down if you need to. Up, push that knee over. So we're opening up that inner thigh as we drop down. We're getting a little bit of blood flow in the knees. We're going to do one more on each side. Drop down. Last one. Drop down, push that knee. Good. We're going to come up on our hands, walk your feet back, stretch out the hamstrings, and then come on up. Now we're going to do something called a Cossack squat. So feet, again, are nice and wide. And we're going to squat onto one leg while we lift the toe of the other leg. Now I'm going to switch sides. So I'm going to lunge on this leg, lift that toe. So you're going to feel a stretch on that inner thigh. This quad is working. This inner thigh is working. Try and stay upright. We're going to do two more on each side. Good. All right. I'm going to turn on my AC while you guys get your weights ready to go. So, figure out how heavy you want to go on your sumo squat. And then just know that we can always change out. You're going to see me pausing. You do not have to keep up with me or pause when I pause. You may be able to go forward. Now, I will say this. If you can go the entire 10 minutes without stopping, lift heavier next time. You should have to stop. All right, so I'm going to give you just another second so you can figure out your weight. I'm going to just start with these 20s. They felt okay for 10. I may regret that as I start to go into these jump lunges. We'll see how it goes. All right, hit pause if you need more time to set up and figure out how much weight. I get asked this all the time. How much weight should I lift? That is so relative. And I know if you're not used to lifting weights, it's hard to know. But what I recommend is you pick up some weights, try the exercise, see how they feel. If it feels too light, you feel like you can go a little heavier, then go a little heavier. I want you getting used to figuring that out. It's going to be different for everybody. I've got 20s. You know, could I do heavier? Possibly. Are there people who could do heavier? Absolutely. Along with the jump squats, you know, who knows? But some of you may be starting with 5 pounds or 10 pounds or body weight, just trying to learn the exercise. So if you don't know, just pick up a weight and give it a try, is my whole point. All right, we're going to get started here. We've got 10 minutes. So we're going to start with your 1.5 sumo squat, and we're going to go 10 reps of those. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Knees go out all the way down, up halfway. There's 1. Feet stay flat. I'm at 5. Work on your range of motion. Try to keep your body upright as much as you can. Put some music on. All right, that was my sumos. Now I'm going to go to I'm going to start with the jump lunges. All right, so 8 on each leg. So I'm going to start, remember you can go reverse lunges. I'm going to do jump lunges first round. Here we go. Okay, catch your breath, get water. And then when you're ready, we're going to go back to your sumos. All right, I'm starting with my sumos again. Knees are wide all the way down, up halfway. Keep the feet flat. Chest stays upright. And turn. Okay. All right. I'm going to do a set of alternating reverse lunges, and that would be your sub. We're 3 minutes in. Not too bad. When you step back, make sure you don't step on a line, like feet lined up. Step back so you're wide so that you are more balanced. Here we go. You do not need to bounce your knee off the ground. In fact, please don't. All right, so that's your sub for the jump lunge. We're coming up on 4 minutes. Catch your breath. Adjust the weight on your stimos if you need to. Okay, I'm gonna start third round. About halfway. Okay. Your breath. I'm gonna go back to the jump lunges and I'll do them sideways to get a different view. All right. There we go. 8 on each side. Okay, catch your breath for 6 minutes. Take your time. This is not about just elevating your heart rate through the roof. So take the rest periods you need, especially if you're not used to lifting or you're not consistent, or you've never, like the way you do workouts are kind of total body, a little this, a little that. These workouts are designed to get a lot of volume in a certain area, smashed into a small group. So it's only 20 minutes, but it's 20 minutes of legs. A lot of legs. So take the rest you need. I'm going to start, I think this is 4. I have a little more than 3 minutes left, so hang in there. Ah, okay. I'm going to regret these jump lunges when we go to these single leg squats. Okay. 2.5 minutes left. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. Catch breath. Ooh. Oh. Minute and a half left. We're just going to get done. I won't get through both of those. I'm just going to get through whatever I get done. At 10 minutes, we're done. That is the beauty of an AMRAP. All right. Toes are at an angle. 1.5. We got a minute left. Here we go. We have 25 seconds left. So, whenever you get done, that's what you get done. All right. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Okay. We're going to take a couple minutes, catch your breath, and then we're going to go to your single leg squat. Don't lay down. Try to stay upright. Water if you need it. We're going to take at least another minute before we start these squats. If you need longer when we start, hit pause. Take the time you need. Also, you don't need to just go back and forth on these single legs. You can rest in between. So what I would be doing is figuring out how you're going to do them. Are you going to do them off of a bench? If you're in a gym or you have TRX straps attached in your house, you can use TRX straps to do them. If you have something stable, these are drilled in. They're not going anywhere. I used to do them in the door frame of our sliding glass door. I would hold on to that because it's stable. Whatever that works for you, that you can get at least to 90 degrees, right? Like if I'm on both feet, I need to get to at least here, okay? That's 90 degrees. If you can go a little lower, go a little lower. Okay. Get your bearings. We're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 6 reps. Here we go. When you're done with that leg, we're going 6 on the other. Okay. Rest is needed. Next round, we're going to 7. When you're ready, 7 on each leg. Move my foot around trying to find a comfortable spot. Usually I have shoes on in the gym, so sometimes that helps. So we're still at 7 if we're on second set. Make sure that knee is not caving in. It should be pointed to that outside of your foot. Okay. Rest is needed. Again, you should not be able to go from one to the next. You should have to rest. If you are not, let's work on your range of motion and how you're doing it. Make it a little bit more challenging. You should have to rest. Okay. I'm hitting 8. So I'm just putting my foot down and pinky toeing it because it's hurting my ankle to keep it up. So if you do that, that's fine. Just make sure that that lead leg is doing all the work, or most of the work. I'm still on 8 reps. My next one is 9. We are just under halfway there. We're hitting the almost to the 5-minute mark now. Rest as needed. If the knees are bothering you, I forgot to mention this in the beginning. Anytime we go to do squats, if the knees are bothering you, just push your hips back a little bit more instead of letting the knees travel forward. See that shift? So on a single leg squat, if I'm here, I'm just going to push my hips back so that my knee stays more back. Okay? All right, I'm finishing up 9. Rest is needed. You're doing great. You're still here. Even if you're resting a lot, you're doing great. There's a lot of volume. 3 minutes left. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm hitting 10. I know sometimes it's hard to remember which one you're at. Lot to count. Two minutes left. So whatever round you're at now, finish that round. And then after your rest, figure out how much time you have left. And you may not get 8 on each leg. Maybe do 4 on each leg, right? So that's when you kind of drop back down and split the time and just get however many you can on each leg within the time. So I will give you a 60-second countdown. So we're at 90 seconds, by the way. All right. We're in our last minute, guys. Rest as needed. Figure out how many you're going to do on each leg. I'm going to do roughly 5 on each leg because that's about what I'm hitting with just a little bit of rest. Then I'm going to go into my last set of each one with the goal of 5 each. I'm going to do 6 because I got enough time. Okay. 25 seconds. Yeah. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Done. All right, while you're catching your breath, sit down on a chair or bench. We're going to stretch real quick. So we're going to do what's called a seated figure 4. So you're going to sit up. You're going to pull one leg over. Now, I'm pretty tight in my hips right now, so I can't sit like this without my body leaning back or my hips coming up. I'm going to slide my foot forward so that I can sit upright. And I'm going to feel a stretch through this hip. We're just going to stay here for 30 seconds. While you're here, even though this may be tight, I want you to just keep focusing on allowing that knee to relax, allowing the hip to relax. We're not forcing too much of a stretch, so if you have to move that foot out, move it out. We've got about 5 seconds for a switch. And then you also, if we're going to do something on your knees, so if you need something to put under your knees, you're going to want to grab that as soon as we're done here. We're going to switch. So let's go nice and tall. Slide that foot out. The other thing you can do is you can just put your arm on that leg and don't push. The weight of your arm will start to kind of gently put that knee down. And your heart rate should start to come down. From here, I want you to do a couple breaths in through the nose, long exhale through the mouth. Okay, now you can do this one against the wall, a couch, or a bench. You'll need either a pillow or something. I have a pad, but you'll need it underneath your knees. This is called a couch stretch. This is my favorite stretch for the quads and also for stretching all the tissue going into the knee. So the goal is to get your knee as close to the bench or the couch as you can. The closer that knee is, the more of a stretch you're going to get. So from here, I'm going to take my other leg, bring it up into a lunge. Now, for some of you, this is going to be enough. If you can, ideally, we want to come all the way up. I'm going to pull my foot because that bench kind of hurts. And then push your hips back into that heel. This is what we want ideally. So we get a nice stretch there. We're going to hang out for 30 seconds. So adjust. If you need to come back down either on your elbow like this or on the floor, that's fine. We got 15 seconds. Find a fairly comfortable position. 5 seconds. I'm going to grab, ouch, a sweatshirt to put under my ankle because that bench hurts. And then we're going to switch sides. Okay, I'm up in the lunge. So this is where you need to stay. That's fine. You can come here or all the way up and then turn a little bit. You want that hip, your butt, so your hip kind of pushes forward, but your butt goes back into that heel if you can. If it's too tight, don't worry about it. But if you have the flexibility, that's where you want to be. All right, we got 15 more seconds. Okay, and then if you have the time, we're gonna do quick breathing. Reason being, we want that heart rate to come down and we want the body to stop pumping stress hormones. So you can lay with your legs straight or with your, I like to go knees bent and then just let them cave in. Hands go to your belly. And I want you to focus on the area right below your belly button and take a couple of breaths where you breathe all the way down into that belly. So as you breathe in, that belly should rise a little bit. That's an exaggeration with my hands, sorry. And then as you breathe out, it should sink. So breathe in through the nose. Long exhale through the mouth. Let the belly sink. I'll take one more. Okay, and you're going to just breathe normally. I want you to feel the sensation of the floor below your head. And then I want you to release the tension from your neck, the muscles in your face, your jaw, your shoulders. Let your arms get heavy. Let your hands sink into your belly or the floor. Feel the sensation of the floor underneath your back. And you're going to take another breath in through the nose, long exhale through the mouth. And as you exhale, allow your entire upper body to sink into the floor and be supported. Release tension from your belly, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your shins, your calves. Release tension from your ankles and let your feet get heavy. We're going to take a couple more breaths, 2 to 3 more, in through the nose, long exhale through the mouth. And as you exhale, allow your body to just sink into the floor. All right, so lean legs done. So if you, first time, yes, you're gonna want all the instructions. The next time you come back and do this one, come back and do it. You can skip all the instructions once you know what you've got. And just remember that don't judge yourself, right? Like, just get through it. You may have to take a lot of rest breaks in the beginning because there's volume. We are doing back-to-back legs, and that is hard, right? So the goal is just to stay in it for the 20 minutes. If you have time, I do encourage you to always stay while we do our breathing, because what it does is it not only slows your heart rate, but when your heart rate slows down, it sends a signal to your brain to stop pumping stress hormones. So it's not that those hormones are bad. We want them during the workout. We just don't want them the rest of the day, like super high. So if you don't have the ability to do that, as you're running off to do whatever, do that breathing in through the nose, long exhale through the mouth to at least just start to slow down. So that's it for today. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next workout.